There's a new play opening up on Theater Row on October 19th. It's called Chasing Happy, and we are with one of the actors of the show and the writer of the show. Spence, tell us your last name and tell us your background.
My last name is Ace. My background is I went to undergrad at the University of Utah. I went to graduate school at the National Theater Conservatory in Denver, Colorado, and I've lived in New York City for over 27 and a half years. I moved here after the blizzard of 96.
Right.
Anyone who was on the East Coast in January of 96 remembers exactly what I'm talking about, because it hasn't snowed here since.
I was there for that. Now this production is part of the Pulse Theater Company. Can you tell us how you got involved with the Pulse Theater Company?
I just got an audition for Pulse Theater Company. I got an audition through my manager, and that was how I got involved. So I had not met Michelle. I had not met Alexa, who is the fabulous director and artistic director of Pulse. So that's how I got involved. I just came in and auditioned for the role.
Michelle, were you already a part of Pulse when you started writing this?
No, I wrote Chasing Happy a while back. It was supposed to premiere in Provincetown, which is where the play takes place, at the Provincetown Theater 3 times. It was canceled because of COVID. And then Alexa somehow got wind of the play, read it and liked it. And
Welcome to the Big Apple.
And we got together. I know she's a terrific director. Seemed to get the play. Great dramaturg as well. Very terrific comments about the play to improve it. And then we cast it, and here we are in production.
Had you done other shows in Provincetown?
The play had a reading at the theater, at the Provincetown Theater, which got a standing ovation, so that was quite encouraging. And besides that, no. I've lived there for 20 years. No, I didn't do anything else in Provincetown.
David Kaplan is a really good friend of mine.
Oh, I know David. I mean, it's David Drake is the artistic director, but I happen to know David Kaplan as well because of his Tennessee Williams Festival. Oh, yeah.
What is Chasing Happy about?
Well, Chasing Happy is a comedy, number one. It's about basically the elusive pursuit of happiness, and has 5 characters, each needing something from the other that the other one is not necessarily willing or able to give, and it's the chase.
And what is your character like, Spence?
My character is a gay man who was, and it's bizarrely and fortunately for my in my favor or for my great luck, is kind of like me and my life. I was born and raised in Utah, and I have 3 brothers who are all straight, and was raised Mormon. Not that Mormonism is in Chasing Happy, but that I was trying to be a straight man. And because that was the right thing to do, that was the normal thing to do. So I dated women, and I had sex with women, and I joined a fraternity and lived in a fraternity house when I lived at the University of Utah, and had a girlfriend who bizarrely is my very last girlfriend, has the same name as my ex-wife character in the show, Helen. So I had a wife who's she's a character in the play, and we get divorced because I'm gay. I come out of the closet, I meet this guy, and pursue a life again. And I have a husband who is killed at a gay pride event, gets shot by someone. And so I think it's the for me, it's trying to find that happy place again, trying to find that place where joy can exist and I can be happy again. And as Michelle said, it's the elusive pursuit of happiness. It's trying to find that place I had at the time I was with my then husband, John.
Michelle, what made you write this? Was there some catalyst in your life that propelled you to this?
Not really. I always wanted to write a love letter to Provincetown, which I feel this is. And there are elements, you know, everything you write is always based on something you've experienced. So let's say it's a composite of various events in my life, which I will not get in.
What other plays have you written?
I wrote a full length called Five Women Waiting, which was the first three. My background is television. I turned to theater later in life. So Five Women Waiting was the first full-length play, which was that was very biographical about my family during World War II, and a lot of court plays, some actually produced by Pulse in the past, and another. This is my third full-length. Chasing Happy is my third full-length play.
Are you working?
A great play. And I don't say that. I mean, yes, am I biased? I will.
I'm holding a gun.
I would never do a show that I didn't really love and didn't really think was amazing, because it's as an actor in this business, it's what is the point of doing something you don't want to do and that isn't brilliant? And it really is. It's funny, it's touching. It makes me want to cry sometimes, but it makes me want to laugh a lot of the times too. And it's really well worth seeing.
Spence, where have we seen you acting before?
Where have you seen me acting before? Well, have you ever seen Toy Story, the very first one?
Yes.
Okay, do you know the little green army man who gets stepped on and says, "Go on without me, just go"? That's me. That's my voice. So don't go on without me. I've also done, I did the acting company. Do you know the acting company?
Sure.
I did 3 tours with them. I played Richard and Richard III. I did the 2001, 2002 tour, the 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. And a lot of what I was doing during those shows was something that was horrible and awful, based on my drug use and abuse. And I wrote and performed a solo show about all of that recently that I did in June. And so you may or may not know that about me, but I've decided to tell it to the world because it's time to expose my dark and sordid past. Being born and raised Mormon, being brought up as a straight boy, doing horrible things to myself. And one of the lines in the show that I did and when I wrote was, sometimes it's something you don't choose that makes everything you do choose more important. I was in a horrible accident in 2015 where I got hit by a car and was in a coma for a week and hospitalized for a month.
Wow.
And that event was something I didn't choose, but it made everything I did choose after that more important. Being born and raised Mormon was not my choice. Being gay was not my choice. But everything I did choose based on the things I didn't choose are more important because of those things.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
Michelle, what are you working on anything new now besides putting up Chasing Happy?
Yes, I'm working on a very, very, very loose adaptation of Moliere's Imaginary Invalid. It takes place in the 80s in California, Hollywood. And instead of being about a hypochondriac, it is about somebody obsessed with staying young and doing old facelifts and anything to stay young.
Oh,
There's a line in the play about a facelift.
Death becomes her.
In this play,
It's pretty cool.
it's a prequel.
Is there any question that I haven't asked you that you would like our readers to know about?
Is there?
Sure. Why do people want to come see this show?
Sure, why-
Because I think it's a great piece about identity. I get choked up even talking about it. It's a great play about of identity and how that has become kind of the pulse of who we are right now in this generation. Whether it's, all these things, whether you are supposed to say LGBTQ plus, trans, him, they, she, them, like all of these things that are
I need the guidebook for dummies.
I do
Exactly.
too, I do
That's
too.
what we all.
But it's this, it's this,
It
Look-
addresses it somewhat.
it addresses it somewhat, and it's like who, it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to be whoever you are, and it's okay to be unique in that too. I always joke about when we talk about human sexuality, about gay, straight, and bi, and all this, that, and the other, but our sexualities are unique to ourselves. Michelle and I are both gay, but our sexualities are different because who he prefers as a man might be different than who I prefer. It might be a different guy. It might be a different type of person. It might be an older person or a person of color or whatever. Everybody's sexuality is unique to them and them alone. I'm Spencer asexual. He's Michelle Wallerstein sexual.
Asexual sounds better than most.
But you know what I mean? Like why? And that is okay, and that should be embraced.
I agree with that. I'm going to tell our readers to go see Chasing Happy. It plays on Theater Row and it starts October 19th. How long does it run for?
Till November 11th.
And there's also previews starting October 11th.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Previews start October 11th, and then we open the 19th.
So your bookend.
Exactly.
Yeah, the 11th to the 11th.
Well, we look forward to seeing it. And thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.